Okay, I just want to start off by saying that I am a 35-year-old loser who lives with his parents and is single. I have a job in some crappy office. The way I spend my free time is by collecting toys, figurines, and playing with them and looking after them. I sleep down in the basement with all my toys and figurines, and I have been doing this way back to when I was a child. I just cannot let them go. Now the only things I feel blessed with is to have a friend the same age as me and who works at the same place as, who also collects and plays with all his toys. We are like grown-up kids who can never let go and move on to adulthood. Now I am a nice person, but I could really never be like everyone else, as my passion was collecting figurines and cool toys, and I clean them, look after them, and try to fix them if they need some fixing or servicing. My friend Eddie once called me up, and he sounded a little upset, and I obviously, as his friend, asked him what was wrong with him. Eddie had broken a toy, and he was unsure of what to do, and I was really confused by this, as we both knew what to do when a toy or figurine broke, or needed some servicing or cleaning. I told him in a confused voice, telling him to fix it as he had been doing this for years now. But he was really sincere, and he kept on saying to me that he had broken a toy. I had no idea what he was going on about, and I just calmly told him what to do. He had always done this and taken it to a shop if it's seriously broken, or find someone online who can fix things for a relatively cheap price. Eddie, with a sad voice, said okay and put down the phone, and I remember thinking about Eddie that night and something felt off about him, but I just moved on. I was also surprised to not see Eddie at work, and I assumed he must have been seriously ill, as Eddie never really liked to miss work. When I got home he phoned me again, and he said to me, "I broke another toy," and I confusingly replied, "Fix it then, like you always do." Me and Eddie are quite the particular handyman, and we know how to use certain equipments to fix things, as we have been doing this hobby for many years now. Eddie kept saying to me that he has broken another toy, and I started to become a tad irritated, and I replied, "Eddie, just fix it and stop being stupid." And Eddie kept saying to me, "I broke another toy." I decided to just hang up, and I just concentrated on my toys, as some needed some polishing. The next day at work, Eddie was not present, and for a whole month Eddie did not come into work, and I started receiving emails and text messages of Eddie, saying that he had broken a third toy. 3 toys Eddie has broken now, and I just didn't understand what he was going on about. I called up Eddie and was glad to see that he had picked up, and I asked Eddie, "Hey man, how are you? What's wrong?" And Eddie replied, "It's okay now. My broken toys have been scattered around some places outside in some streets." And Eddie put down the phone really quickly, and I was extremely scared out by this. I then remember clearly the police coming round to my house, and it was about Eddie, my best friend. I told them how we both collected toys and figurines and serviced them if they needed some fixing. I explained to them how Eddie had been acting strange and kept calling me about broken toys, which was weird because he and I always knew how to look after toys and figurines. I then was told that the broken toys Eddie was going on about were the people he murdered, which were both his parents and his aging grandmother. He had beaten them around and tied them up and tortured them and then killed them, one by one in his basement where his toys and figurines are. He then tried to chop off their limbs the best he could and scattered them around the alleyways and other hard places to see in the street. I was so truly petrified to hear this, and Eddie has been taken in and is in psychological care. I always think to myself how I could have done more, but I thought Eddie meant his toys and not actual people. I also heard Eddie had to be sedated, as he kept on saying on a constant basis, "I have broken my toys, I have broken my toys." And I am not too sure what happened to Eddie, but I hope he is okay. His toys and figurines have been given to me, and I look after them now and watch the bits of blood marks on them. To be honest, I am not too sure what to think about this whole situation, and I am just going to carry on doing what I love.